that help them blend into their surroundings. That's awesome for them because it keeps them safe from predators, but not so awesome for us.
We're explorer here. We're at the Animal Kingdom Kilimanjaro Safari.
Take a look over here on the right hand side. There are two different animals. Look up next to the big stone wall on your right. You can see a dark-colored antelope, or a dark-colored antelope. That's not an antelope. A dark-colored animal with a yellow spot on its back, and that is called a yellowback diker. Yellowback dikers, when they're frightened, they will raise that yellow crest on their back. They'll emit a high-pitched whistling noise, and they'll dive into the bushes. That dark-colored antelope with the zebra pants on, that is called an okapi. The okapi, in spite of its wardrobe choices, is actually more closely related to the giraffe than it is to the zebra. This is a watering hole that we're driving past on our left right now. It's a pretty popular hangout spot for animals, and it looks like we're going to be able to see a black rhino, guys. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Black rhinos are incredibly rare. They're hunted for that horn that you see on their head there, and because of the extreme amount of poaching they face, there's fewer than 5,000 of them left in the entire world. Coming up over here on our right, we're going to see some sandy-colored antelope. These are called greater kudu. The greater kudu is the second tallest antelope in Africa. They can actually stand up to 5 feet tall at the shoulder.
Cool.
Over on our left-hand side, there's some caramel-colored antelopes up on that hill. Those are called bongos. They're a little bit harder to see, but that's because they're really shy. In fact, bongos are so reclusive, they've earned themselves the nickname the ghosts of the forest. Coming up on the Safi River. This is usually a pretty good place to do some hippo spotting, but you gotta really look because they're usually underwater to keep cool. Take a look over there on our right hand side. You can just see a hippo resting his chin on the opposite shore there. It's a little bit hard to tell because that hippo was under the water, but they are just huge animals, just massive animals. And a fully grown adult male, they can get up to 5,500 pounds. Even the babies can weigh 85 pounds at birth. On our left-hand side, those white and gray birds that you see there are called pink-backed pelicans. I know they don't look particularly pink right now, but they will get a pinkish color to the feathers across their backs during mating season, so that's where they get their name. A couple of hippos over there on our left-hand side, although they're pretty hard to see. Take a look on our left. We got a great view of some Nile crocodiles. Those crocs can get up to 20 feet long. That's as long as a giraffe is tall. They have 2,000 pounds per square inch of crushing force in those jaws. And they can run up to 10 miles per hour on land, which admittedly is faster than this truck goes, so I'm going to get us out of here. Coming up on our right-hand side, you can have a great view of a baobab tree. The baobab tree is often referred to as the upside-down tree. That's because of those branches which look like roots. They look like that because they're leafless, and they'll stay that way up to 9 months of the year to help the tree conserve water. Over here on our left-hand side, this is my favorite view on the entire reserve. I think it's gorgeous. This is the African savanna, and it serves as a superhighway for millions of animals every single year. Now look over here on our right-hand side. Do you see that tiny animal laying over there for some reason very sad and alone right now. And that is called a springbok. He looks very small because he is very small. Springboks will only get about 3 feet tall. They're not very big animals. But to make up for their height, they can actually jump up to 12 feet in the air. And they can do that over and over again. It's called pronking. So you'll look out across the savannah and just see a, springbok bouncing across the grass.
Maybe they're putting him in.
It's a great way to avoid predators. I have to admit, if cheeseburgers could jump 12 feet in the air, I would probably be a vegetarian. These tall pillars of dirt coming up on either side of the truck, those are termite mounds. Those termite mounds can get as hard as concrete, so sometimes elephants will use them as scratching posts. When they do that over a long period of time, those termite mounds will stop looking like the one you see over here on our left. They'll start looking like the one you see over there on our right. But that is super okay, because then smaller animals like that springbok, they can get up on top of those worn down termite mounds and use them as kind of a step stool to see over the tall grass and look for predators. If you're interested at all in seeing what those termite mounds look like on the inside, definitely go check out the Pangani Forest Trail. They have a termite mound over there that's been cut in half, so you can see what it looks like. It kind of looks like, I don't know, it looks sort of like an ant farm. I don't know if I just dated myself by referring to ant farms. I don't think kids even know what ant farms are now. Like, why would you bring ants inside and watch them? But it kind of looks like that on the inside, except it's massive because termite mounds are huge. This guy coming up over here on our right-hand side, my favorite. He's big, he's beefy, he's the Coley cattle. If you look over there in those trees there, you can see some light gray animals. Those are white-bearded wildebeest. They take part in one of the largest animal migrations in the entire world, and every year hundreds of thousands will travel across the savannah looking for food. This Coley cattle on our right, like I said, my favorite animal. Those horns can get up to 20 inches around at the base and 6 feet long each. They're also known as Watusi cattle. They're called that because they're named after the people who first domesticated them. So they are the only domesticated animals on the entire reserve. I'll look over here on our left. Good view of a giraffe over there. Giraffes are the tallest land animals. They can get up to 20 feet tall. Based on this one's spots, I would say that this is a Maasai giraffe. Maasai giraffes have those kind of rougher edges to their spots. They're kind of uneven around the outside. When you think of a giraffe pattern, you're probably thinking of a reticulated giraffe. They have those really even, smooth spots that you see. The cool thing about the spots of both reticulated and Maasai giraffes is that they are totally unique to each animal. They're kind of like our fingerprints, so you will never see two giraffes that look exactly the same. I can just see over on our right a African elephant over there. So I will try to get us a little bit closer. If you look on our left-hand side, look back in those bushes there, you can see some mandrill monkeys. Mandrill monkeys are Africa's largest type of monkey, and they're distinctive because of their size and also because of the bright red and blue colors they have on their faces. The dominant male of the mandrill monkeys is easy to pick out because he will have the brightest colors on his face, the brightest red and blue, and he'll be much larger than all the others. Gosh, we've got a backseat driver in the second row. My goodness. That's okay. To make up for having to stop, I found us a really good view of an elephant. Now you can tell that this guy is an African elephant because look at his ears. They're shaped like the continent of Africa. It's one of the easiest ways to tell African elephants from Asian elephants. Asian elephants have slightly smaller ears, and they're shaped differently. They don't have that distinct Africa shape. Actually, the easiest way to tell that that was an African elephant is we're in Africa. So there was like 100% chance that that was going to be an African elephant. So if you're ever in Africa and you see an elephant, you probably assume. Since there was that road closed sign back there, I'm taking a little bit of a detour. We're going to end up in the same place, but it's probably going to add 3 or so days of safari. Hopefully like the people you're sitting next to. If you don't tell them we have like 9 days left.
They do all
This is the worst time for a
Oh,
confession.
yeah, I don't know. We'll look into the, zero is definitely something I'd like to do. I haven't been there in years. That's a cool place. I'm going to sit there watching the kids all day.
Okay, there's some test marks in this clay here on the sides of the truck. That might be a sign that we'll see some more elephants, so we'll keep our eyes open, see if there are any out there. I can see one in the distance. A lot of people think that those tusks are the biggest reasons that elephants are at risk. And they are a reason. They're made out of ivory and they're very valuable, especially on the black market. But the biggest threat that elephants face is actually habitat loss. The less room that they have to move around, the closer they're forced to work people. And encounters can be dangerous for humans and elephants. Hey, I found some elephants. When you see them flapping their ears like that, unfortunately, not waving hello. Elephants flap their ears to help them cool off. By doing that, they can lower their body temperature up to 15 degrees.
That one's getting big.
Oh, cool. Look over here on our left-hand side. We got a great view of a flamboyance of flamingos. Flamboyance is the official name for a group of flamingos, which I love. And they are born with that distinct pink color. They're actually born gray. And they turn pink because of the shrimp they eat. Look over here on our right-hand side, guys. You see that antelope up there? That's a Patterson's eland. We only have one Patterson's eland living on the reserve, and she's really shy. We hardly ever see her, so it's really cool. Patterson's elands are actually the largest type of antelope in Africa. They can stand 6 feet tall at the shoulder. This is cool, guys. We are going to have an amazing view of some white rhinos.
Nice.
On your side.
No.
Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Okay, now I know what you guys are thinking. You're saying, Sydney, look at those rhinos. They're not white. It's true. They are like a light gray color. But that's because they're not named for their color. They're actually named for the Afrikaans word "weit," which means wide and refers to their wide, square mouths. In spite of the best efforts of reserves like Harambe, white rhinos are still hunted by poachers. We're working with the Lewa organization in an effort to protect 62,000 acres of land in Kenya that we know have 150 white rhinos living there. Yeah, look up there on top of that hill on our left. Right back past the boulders, there's 2 cheetahs laying up there. Cheetahs are the fastest land animals. They can run up to 60 miles per hour. That's the speed of a car. Over there on our right-hand side, you can see a couple of zebras there. Now, the age-old question has been answered, folks. Zebras are, in fact, black with white stripes. And we can tell because they have black hair on their noses. That is an actual science fact and not a Sydney fact. Take a look over here. There's a couple more cheetahs on our left.
Oh, nice.
You would know if it was a Sydney fact because I was totally team white with black stripes. I've been proven wrong by science. But I'm admitting that, and I think that's a growing moment. Oh, this is cool, guys. As we come around this corner, we're going to look to the front of this big rocky outcropping called a kopie. There's lions laying up there.
They're hungry too.
There we go. This is a good view of them over here. Oh, that one has given up on being awake entirely. I'm actually not surprised. Lions can remain inactive up to 20 hours of the day. They're usually the most active at night. That's when the females go out and hunt, and the male lions stay behind and protect the pride. Oh, if you look really carefully, you can just see the male laying up there. There's a little break in the grass up here. You can just see him. He is not receiving paparazzi today.
Another good shot.
I look over here on our left. There's two trees. Look at the base of the left one. There's two warthogs taking a nap down there. Warthogs are Africa's largest burrowing animal. They use their razor-sharp tusks to dig their burrows down to the ground. And then at night, when it's time for them to go to sleep, they'll actually back into their burrows so they can leave their tusks sticking out to keep them safe. Side, you can see some antelopes with some long spiraling horns. Those are called addax. Addax are desert-dwelling animals that have adapted to get all the moisture they need out of the plants they eat, so they can go their entire lives without taking a sip of water. Wow. Those white and black birds that you can see a little bit further back there, those are yellow-billed storks. Yellow-billed storks are carnivorous birds. They eat meat. So their diet can consist of anything from fish, snakes, frogs, even other birds. Hopefully you guys can tell that here at Harambe we are really serious about conservation, and we hope that you will be too. There are a lot of different ways you can get involved in conservation. You can contribute to conservation and wildlife funds. You can volunteer with conservation groups. You can make sure products you buy are environmentally friendly and sustainably produced. The easiest way to work on conservation is to take all the facts that you picked up on our safari and everything you're going to learn throughout your time at Disney's Animal Kingdom, take it home with you, share it. Knock on your neighbor's door and tell them that we saw lions and giraffes and black and white rhinos. Because the more we educate ourselves about the really amazing animals we saw and the beautiful planet that we share with them, the better our chances are of being able to keep them safe for generations to come. Now, unfortunately, guys, it does look like our safari time together is coming to a close. So for my wilderness explorers, make sure you know the name of your truck is Simba 1. You'll need